Hi there, and welcome to this how-to guide on getting your school behaviour policy right on your school website. Hopefully, you will have already downloaded our school website requirements guide, which is available freely from our website at studio.com. If you haven't done so, it would be a great idea to get that checklist downloaded, and then it's a great way of auditing your website. Now, let's have a look at what you need to publish for your behaviour policy. If you flick through the guide, you will notice that it is in section 7 of the requirements. And to be quite honest, there are only 2 requirements for this, and it's an easy one to get right. The requirements are as simply as if you're a maintained school, make sure you publish your details of your school's behaviour policy on your website, and it must comply with Section 89 of the Education Inspections Act 2006. If you're an academy or free school, you should publish details of your school's behaviour policy, including its anti-bullying strategy. Now, those are the 2 easy things that you need to be able to do. You just need to make sure that your behaviour policy is published on your website. Now, if you want to take it a little bit further, you need to have a look at this, which is Behaviour and Disciplines in School. And it's quite a helpful little guide. Now, the one that I like is Getting the Simple Things Right, Charlie Taylor's Behaviour Checklist. And if you go into that, there are he puts some preamble in, but if we go down through it, then he gives you some ideas of what you could include in your behaviour policy. So that's just a nice little checklist, perhaps to have a flick through and see if those things are outlined in your behaviour policy. So let's have a look then at some schools that do this well. So we're going to have a look at St John's in Blackpool. If we click on their behaviour policy, and you'll notice here that their policies are listed and grouped together alphabetically, which obviously helps with organising them. Now, their policy starts off with their aims and purposes, but what I like about this is that sprinkled through the policy, they have these little boxes. At St John's, everything we do is underpinned by Christian values. At St John's, every child to be nurtured, and they have these scattered throughout the pages. At St John's, everybody to work together to find solutions. And it's just a nice little way of emphasising what they value within their behaviour policy. So that's a good example. They obviously have various things in there about the processes that they follow. So partner classes there where they would send children to if they were receiving time out. An academy then. So this is Easterside Academy. Again, this is lovely because a lot of schools don't do this on their policies, and it's really hard from a requirements and compliance point of view. If you're trying to audit a website and there's no dates on them, it's hard to tell whether the policy's in or out of date. So get into the habit of popping on when it was last reviewed and the next time it has to be reviewed. So that's helpful for ourselves if we're doing audits, but also helpful for you to see when your policy was last updated. Now, the thing with academies is that obviously lots of MATs will publish their own policies on various aspects of school. And I suppose the same to maintain schools with the local authority. But it's really, really important that you personalise the policies for your setting, because within a MAT or within an authority, every school is going to be different. They will have different challenges, different types of children with various needs and behavioural issues. So just make sure that you personalise your policies for your setting. And you can see that this academy has done that. They've included some key questions in there that staff might ask of children with challenging behaviour. The third one then is a high school. And again, they've got the legislation in there. It's a good tip to put that in just to say this policy complies with that Education Act that we talked about at the start of this little webinar. So just make sure that you do that as well. And again, it just follows through policy and procedure, student conduct. So just make sure that your policy covers all the things that in your setting you would need to ensure for positive behaviour for learning. This Charlie Taylor's behaviour checklist, as I said, is really helpful. So I would flick through that, keep that by your side when you're checking against your policy to make sure that you've perhaps covered some of those things in detail. And like I said at the start, we just jump back to the requirements. Make sure that you reference this Education and Inspections Act 2006, Section 89 of that, within your policy, especially if you are a maintained school. So hopefully you find that helpful. If you really want to get deeper into compliance and getting it right on your school website, we do offer a course which is available at Scudio.tv. So if that's something that's of interest to you, please do get in touch with it. But for now, thank you very much.